It's That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast, season 6, Richie.
Cheers, Gunsy. You can find us on the socials at That Guy's Maniac, all one word, all lowercase. Each episode for this season is going to be brought to you by a random Pokemon.
And our amazing That Guy's a Mastermind quiz.
Cue the music. And this week's episode is brought to you by the Pokemon number 601. What's its name, Farley?
Klinklang.
Klinklang is a pure steel type. Tell me something interesting about Klinklang.
Klinklang first appeared in the Generation 5 Pokemon games. It was one of the ones that received a fair bit of criticism that the series had perhaps run out of creative ideas.
Yes.
If you remember, Black and White introduced very famously Vanillish, which was basically an ice cream cone with a face and then a double ice cream cone with a face. And Klingklang is a line.
It's got another line as well. There's 3 evolutions.
Yeah.
The silly.
It's like a small cup, cone, and then double cone.
Yeah.
And Klinklang, which didn't make it as the poster child of Pokemon is creatively bankrupt. But it perhaps should have done, because it's a gear. Kling is a gear. And then it evolves into Klang, which is 2 gears.
Yeah.
And then it becomes Klinklang, which is 4 gears and a ring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Klink. No, Klink is 2 gears. Klang is 2 gears, but one of them's got a larger gear bit on the back of it. And then Klingklang is 3 gears. But where the 2 gears were on the x-axis, this one is on the z-axis.
Wait, I'm now checking my wall chart. This is how bad it's got. This is how well researched this episode is.
No, really. I'm just clearing it up.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Because in my mind, Kling
is 2 gears.
is 1 gear. What fucking number is it?
600. No, 599.
599. There you go.
There you go, readers. 599 is Kling. 600 is Klang. 601, we've got Klingklang.
Oh, yeah. So in my mind, Kling was 1 gear. Klingklang was 2 gears. And then, no, Klang was... Fuck me, these words. Kling was 1 gear. Klingklang was 2 gears. And then... No, fuck! Kling was 1 gear. Klang was 2 gears. And Klingklang was 4 gears. But no, it was never 1 gear just floating around. It's 2 gears is Kling. Klang is
still
like
2 gears, yeah.
2 gears in a big gear, 3 gears. Klingklang is 4 gears. There's a secret gear underneath.
No,
you can't really
Klang
see.
is still 2 gears. Just one of them's bigger.
No, that's the gear on the back.
Yeah, it's just 2 gears.
It's a gear on the... It's 3 gears.
Nah, look, you've got to look at the face on the gears. So there's
What
2
is
faces.
this podcast?
Listen,
Fucking-
readers,
I didn't
I
realise.
urge you to look at a image of Kling, then Klang. Klang is still 2 gears, but one of them's big.
One of them's big. Yeah, but you've got teeth in 2 places.
But if you look at the face on the gears, so you'll see there's a little sort of face, an eye,
Yeah.
a cross, and
Yeah.
a black eye on
Yeah.
Klang. And you see that's doubled on Klink. But on Klang, the second evolution...
You have to stop saying these words.
But on the second evolution...
Clank, 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 clank.
But on the second evolution,
Clank, yeah.
one of the gears becomes much bigger.
Yeah.
And its nose, the thing in the middle, becomes a gear of the same size as its previous evolution. So it's
Gear!
still 2, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's look at this. I don't think I've ever studied Klingklang so hard. So, Kling,
Yeah.
where it begins, is 2 gears, equifaced. So imagine a gear reader, and then you have like a thing in the middle that the gear rotates around.
Like a nose.
And then, like a nose, and then it has very cleverly. Oh, there's so much more to this design than I initially thought.
Yeah.
It has like an eye with a pupil. Then there's a cross. Then there's like an open hole, which looks like a mouth. But also these could be, things that you screw into gears.
Yeah. Or let's make it even worse, Farley.
Yeah.
There's 2 gears and there's 2 eyes.
No, there's 3 eyes, right? So the X could be the mouth.
No, but if you ignore the orifice and the cross, there are 2 actual eyes that are definitely eyes. The other 2 things don't really make that much sense.
If you ignore the orifice, so if you ignore the mouth, you're saying,
yeah, sorry.
yeah. Then what? You got like 1 open eye and 1 crossed eye, right?
Well, that's the thing. This is what I'm sort of saying. Because Clink is these 2 gears that are put together, there is only actually 2 eyes, open eyes, which could insinuate that is the 2 eyes of this being.
What? The X and the I?
The X? No. Ignore the X.
Yeah.
Ignore the black open mouth thing,
Yeah.
potentially. There is an eye on 1 gear, and then there's
on the little gear, there's an eye, yeah.
So we're talking the first evolution here.
Eye.
Yeah.
That's saying eye.
So there is an eye on each gear.
Yeah.
Which, in a different way of looking at it, potentially in the same way as looking at Diglett's nose as a mouth, you could say that the 2 gears have 2 eyes, and therefore it's 1 being, as opposed to 2 separate gears, which are maybe separate beings with different eyes.
But then when it evolves into Klang, the big gear doesn't have any eyes.
Yeah, I know. It's got a square, then it's got
square
a sort
hole,
of
a
sad
circle
face,
hole, and
a
then
chevron,
like
a chevron, yeah.
A hatchet. And then the 3rd gear, which you don't really get to see, is laying down. I wonder if that has a face underneath.
I mean, I reckon there is essays on fan art and stuff like that of what people have done on this one.
On the existential crisis of being a Klinklang.
Yeah, okay, I can see the old sprite does not have anything on it. It is a
On the
sort of
underneath.
metal, yeah. So it's got a red gear.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's got a red dot in the middle. There's nothing on the gear itself, and then it's got this sort of spike collar chain thing around it.
Yeah.
So there is nothing there. This is very rife for a mega evolution.
If they listen, the Pokédex entry in Sword and Shield says, the 3 gears that compose this Pokemon spin at high speed. Its new spiked gear isn't a living creature.
Yes. I think the only living creature is the 1 single gear with the face on it, or the eye.
Well, then why would it say the new spiked gear isn't a living creature? That implies the other 2 are.
So here we go. When Klang evolves from Klink, the 2 original gears are still present.
Gear!
But the big gear has changed and a new smaller gear is attached. 1 Pokédex entry for Klang implies if the mini gear is launched at a foe but doesn't return, the whole thing will die.
Fuck me.
Okay, and here we go.
Yeah.
The 2 mini gears that make up Klink are a fixed pair. They are closer than twins.
What?
They are essentially two separate beings
Yeah.
that must find their soulmate gear to survive and function.
Find where? In the wild?
I don't know.
At a shop?
There's also one other thing that I found out about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and move us off the morphology of.
I think now no one's in any doubt as to what Klinklang looks like.
Yeah.
I think all our readers could draw it.
To be fair, we have done such an excellent way of describing it. Right, sorry. So Professor Juniper noted that Klink did not exist in Unova more than 100 years ago. So that means, and this is quite a bigger existential thing for me.
Yeah.
It's like, where did it come from?
Yeah.
I'm happy that when you go to a new region, there are different Pokemon there.
Yeah.
But apparently, there are Pokemon that just get, appear. Such as the evolution of Cursola, and Grimer and Voltorb are just, human waste.
Yeah.
So it's just wow.
Isn't Grimer when moonbeams hit a pile of sludge, it becomes a living thing?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it's in one of the Pokédex entries or one of the cards.
I again, that big Bible at the Game Freak office of the the inner workings of how Pokemon actually are or exist.
The lore, yeah.
Yeah, the lore book, the Bible.
Sometimes they just pop into being.
Wow.
And that's what I think, as we previously discussed, there's something a bit odd about, because some things are like a Pikachu, right? It hatches and it's a Pichu, and then it fights and evolves and it becomes a Pikachu, and then you give it a stone, it turns into a Raichu. It's a bit odd, but fine. And there's other ones, in fact, all steel types, like Magnemite, Beldum, Klinklang. It's there's one, and then if it's sometimes there are two, and then they fuse, and then they're a new thing.
Yeah, I mean, Magneton is quite a. That's three of them got together, and they've just turned into three Magnemites together.
But if you pull them apart, they should become three Magnemites again.
Yeah.
And then what's really annoying about Metagross, right, is that it fuses. There's Beldums that fuse. So I think, is it two Beldums that fuse to make a Metang?
I think it's got to be more than two.
And then a couple of Metangs fuse. But what's really annoying is when it Mega Evolves, one of the Pokédex entries is, here we go, so for Metang. When two Beldum fuse together, Metang is formed.
Okay.
Brains of the Beldum are joined by a magnetic nervous system. The Pokemon turns its arms to the rear for traveling at high speed. Even though if you look at the model, the arms are clearly just two Beldum.
Yeah.
So where does the rest come from? Who knows? And then I read somewhere about Mega Metagross that another 4 Beldum join it and become boosters. You're well, I've played those games. That's not what happens when you Mega Evolve.
No, it really isn't. No.
You don't get 4 Beldum pop in from nowhere, or
you can't. You can't say that about a Mega Evolve. That's not right, because then that would imply that it's also a permanent thing. And where the fuck do these? I'm so angry. Where the fuck
exactly.
did them come from?
Yeah. Space? Do they have one of those, Iron Man satellites just floating around?
What? It's in the Poke Bible, so we just have to accept it as canon.
Here we go. Here's what it says from Legends ZA about Mega Metagross. This form results from one Metagross, one Metang, and 2 Beldum linking up. Yeah? So next time you do it, go into Pokemon ZA now, everybody. Mega Evolve your look at your Metagross and Mega Evolve it and see where those Metang and 2 Beldum come from. And indeed, where they go after 5 minutes of Mega
not even like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about, Richie, one of the things that first happened when I was aware of the wider Pokemon community is that some people really cannot stand object Pokemon.
Yeah.
What we need a TGAM official opinion. We need a jingle for when we do make official TGAM official opinions. What is the TGAM stance on Pokemon which are just objects?
Oh, see, I think
we
take a bit more of an. But sorry, let's get a bit more abstract than that.
Yeah.
So I think we have a stance on lazy design, which does also incorporate some of those object ones. However, there are some object Pokemon that we cherish and hold deep in our heart that we love. But I can't think of any at the top of my head.
I was gonna say, go on then. Back us up. Okay. I got a bit of time for Magearna. She's just a robot.
Yeah. But I think that I find that some of the humanoid ones are a little lazy design as well.
Yeah.
But, I'm trying to think of object-based Pokemon.
So you got the Magnemites, as we discussed.
Voltorb.
Voltorb. Yeah, but it comes from wood.
I know, and my ultimate number one favorite would probably be Klefki. That is the laziest design. It's a keychain.
It's brilliant. Fucking love Klefki.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's just a keychain.
What about last week's? A fucking sandcastle.
Yeah, but that's, I can imagine sand having a hive mind, as we found out, and being controlled.
Yeah.
But if it's like something you can build, right? You can build Magearna.
Yeah.
I guess you can build Magnemites.
See, I don't know if you can.
You can build a Klingklang.
Yeah, but they're so linked. I think when you
closer than twins, I had.
Yeah. I think things like Chandelure.
Yeah.
I think when it's ghost Pokemon inhabiting of the fucking cup Pokemon Sinistea.
Come on again, that's one of the greatest Pokemon of all time.
Like, that's fine when it's like a ghost inhabiting.
I'm fine with things being possessed.
Yeah,
no problem.
Delmise, again, another great.
Fucking love Delmise.
Aegislash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beldum, what do you think about? Sorry, not Beldum. Bronzong.
Yeah, it's a big bell. I personally don't like it that much. But yeah.
What about Ferroseed? What is Ferroseed?
So I think that comes under grass Pokemon. I think I'm quite happy for that to be sort of like a barb seed.
So if you grow in like a place with metal, you just kind of pick up the metal.
I think it's just a hard seed casing. I always think of like steel Pokemon of not actually being steel, but very, very, very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There aren't too many, actually. I think we've listed most of them. We've got the Honedge, because you've got stuff like Durant, right, which is not an object. That's an ant.
It's an ant, yeah. A metal ant, yeah.
Got metal in its body. Got Klinklang. Magnezone. Bronzong. Pineco. That's grass, no?
I know. I suppose it's just Trubbish.
Trubbish is poison.
It's a fucking garbage bag.
Fucking love Trubbish, man.
I know, but again, it's an object.
It's in my top 10. It's in my top 10.
So
Yeah.
this is what I was saying. There is a place in our heart for
Yeah.
the inanimate object Pokemon.
True. So we don't mind. I guess we don't mind it.
We don't mind it, but we do dislike lazy design, and I do feel like the community sort of gets at. I do dislike Vanillation, Vanillux. They bother me as a Pokemon because they just float as well. Like in ZA, they're kicking about, and you're just like, you're just rubbish. This thing floating about, you don't know what you are. Ice cream cone, just rubbish. Whereas you do have like an animation for Trubbish, kicking about round the bins and stuff like that, Whereas this, like, you're in Middle Wild Zone 7 and there's just an ice cream cone kicking about, floating over some grass, and you're like, lazy. I do dislike that, but like I say, there are other lazy. Oh god, now I need to think about them.
Yeah, because
Lazy designs.
Like, there's lots of little floaty boys, right?
Yeah.
So many, like Geodude, Carbink, Minior, Solrock.
But like Geodude
Lunatone.
wasn't originally a floaty thing. Like in the anime, he sort of dumped around.
It's true. It was all about bouldering around.
Yeah.
Now they just magically fucking fly. And if you had animals that could just hover and fly, the world would be so different, right?
Yeah. Why
I mean,
can't,
it is. When you watch the anime, it's weird. That it's
why
very.
Can't Mareep fly? Why is it not just floating about?
Fly. Why can't? I'm gonna. Let's put that in the show. Let's put that in the show notes. Why can't?
But I mean, it's a good point. Like, if Geodude and Vanillation can just float about, what makes that different from a Mareep or a Hitmonlee? Why are they not just floating about?
So, why can't Mareep fly? It's a good question. We're all asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, if you do look at the anime, if you watch the anime, there are bits of it that are like, oh yeah, we do have flying cars and space rockets and super lasers.
Oh yeah,
it's quite a high-tech society that we just don't see a lot of the time. And you can kind of,
impossible hairdos that flick from left to right depending on whether you're looking at the front or the back of the person.
And then you can just put these monsters in a ball and they're tiny and you can send them over a computer. So it doesn't... Yeah. They're a higher tech society than the one in which we live.
Yeah.
Now, Klingklang. Let's have a look at the names in different languages. So in Japanese...
Okay. Slumber.
Slumber. Fuck. It's Gigigyaru.
Gyaru, okay.
Gigigyaru. G-I-G-I. The phonetic is Gigigiaru.
Gyaru, that's brilliant.
Gigigyaru.
Combo breaker.
Slumber. In French, oh my god, it's called Clitty Click.
What?
Clitty Click. C-L-I-T-I.
Oh my god, that is inappropriate, France.
C-L-I-C, yeah. In German, it's Klick-de-Clack.
Klick-de-clack.
That's good.
Just saying that actually sounds more German. Yeah.
Yeah. Klick-de-clack. Use steel beam. I don't know why I gave you steel beam. Because I think you're a physical attacker.
Flash cannon. Oh, that is a good question. We'll get onto what is it afterwards.
So yeah, all the names are probably stronger than Klingklang, to be honest. Which in English, it's kind of the noise if you're making, what was that, Klingklang?
Yeah.
Kind of. But basically they're saying we're so fucking lazy, we just put three of these things together to just keep pronouncing the name.
Yeah.
Gigigyaru, Clitty Click, and Click-de-Clack. Abilities wise, Richie, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Plus and minus.
Oh, like Plissy Minin.
Plissy and Minin, yeah. Plus or
Plissy
Minin?
Minin. What did I say?
Plissy and Minin.
Plissy Minin.
Plus and Minin. Who else has that? So when battling with plus or minus your special attacks, if you have the opposite charge, you get a boost.
Toxicity also has
Wow.
it. And Marip can have it as a hidden. And Didney as well.
Can it fly though?
Yeah, but for minus, toxicity as well.
Yeah.
But the other one, the purple one, and electric and manitric.
Oh, weird. I didn't know they had what do you call them?
Hidden abilities.
No, but they have different. What do you call plus and minus? Charges? No, but positronic, positron, poles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knew that? The Mareep line was opposite to the Elegid line.
Yeah.
No. Is it Dynamo and that?
No. Electric and manetric have minus.
Okay.
And the toxicities have plus and minus as well.
Okay.
The yellow and the purple one.
So I guess that ability only really works in double battles or triple battles back in the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that ever got any play, but Klingklang's the only electric Pokemon. So if you didn't want to get absolutely done in by ground, oh no, because it's also weak to ground. Okay.
No, Klingklang is just pure steel, isn't it?
Yes, it's also weak to ground. I'm saying if you wanted to make use of plus and minus,
Oh yeah.
who would you have? And I was like, oh, everyone else is electric, so that's the only steel type, but they all have the same weakness, so it's kind of pointless.
I think Dedeny's the only one that's good.
Ampharos is good. Come on.
Yeah, Ampharos is good. But unfortunately, it's also a plus as well.
Klinklang could be plus or minus.
Ah, okay. So partner them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Flex a bubble. It has a hidden ability, boring one. All the steel types have this, I think. Opponents, clear body, so it can't have its stats lowered. That's pretty good. Probably better than.
That is good. That's a good one.
Then
Stats. Let's talk stats.
Stats. What are you going to predict, Richie?
I'm going to say it's speedy.
Yeah.
Um,
And do you reckon it's special? Do you reckon it's offensive?
I reckon it's going to be equal offensive, special, and attack.
Well, let's find out. Here's something that might surprise you, Richie. Off the bat, stat number 1, HP 60.
What? I feel like that should be bulky.
Yes.
Does it have high defenses or special defense?
Defense is 115.
That's reasonable.
Special defense 85.
Yeah, okay.
Not too bad.
I mean, it's still not taking an earthquake to the face.
Attack is 100.
Okay, so attack and special attack?
Attack is 70. Speed is 90. So I guess perhaps the story they're trying to tell with these stats is because it's just 3 gears stuck together, it's a bit weak.
Yeah.
Just kick it really hard and it falls into 3 different gears.
Yeah, and if it loses the little one, it just dies.
Apparently,
Yeah.
even though, see, going back to the origin, and sometimes they just appear, and then also they're closer than twins, but they have to find each other initially. So then, how come there isn't? Then surely, just one gear exists. There must be just one gears out there before they find each other, right?
Yeah.
So why doesn't that have a Pokedex entry?
Because maybe the rest of it dies, and the little face continues on.
God, like fucking talk about Dax again from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
So the little face has all the memories of being, but then, like going all the way back to the origins. What did the first single gear do?
It just popped into existence in Unova, according to Professor whatever his face.
Juniper.
Yeah.
She's a lady.
Right. Anything more you want to say about Klinklang? Let's.
I've not looked up the trivia. Bear in mind, hold on there. Give me goddamn second. I wonder what it's based on. Klinklang's based on interlocking gears.
Well done. Great. Fantastic.
Perhaps specifically a combination of sun and planet gears. Have you ever heard of this before?
No.
It's where one revolves around the t'other.
Yeah. In fact, no, I do. I know what you're talking about.
Like a spinning jenny? Is that what they call
No, spinning jenny's what you have on your table.
Sewing machine.
Yeah.
Its appearance may be based on a balance wheel, Richie.
Oh, okay.
A balance wheel is a time-keeping device used in mechanical watches. Yes.
Great.
You know what those are. The red core of one of the wheels could be a reference to the jewel bearings in mechanical watches, which are often made of ruby.
Oh.
Who knew it was such a
I
deep
didn't.
dive?
Did you know that Klang communicates its feelings by changing the direction and speed at which it rotates?
I didn't know.
When it's angry, it spins faster.
So what does it do when it's sad?
I'm guessing spins slower. I don't
What does
know.
it do when it's horny?
It spins in your bum.
Good. Good then.
Oh dear.
That's good.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. It's a tasteful
Uh,
podcast, this one.
Did you ever, as the kids say, fuck with a Klingklang?
Are we still talking about what I said?
No. The kids use it to mean I had one of
did
those.
I ever mean a Klinklang? No, I think I very, very quickly evolved them because I had to and served them in a box. Yeah.
Box
Box
fodder 100%. That's it. I think we've covered everything.
Then allow me to do this segue. Let's change gear, shall we? And we'll move to. We will move.
Glitty clack.
Gyaru. Right, we're going to move to our middle section, which is that guy's a mastermind.
Yes, it is.
And today you are taking the black chair. So, right, give me your name, your occupation, and your specialist subject, and why.
Hello, my name is Kanzi11. I am a clit clacker, and my specialist subject is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, because I eschew the main series Final Fantasy games and only enjoy the niche weird spin-offs.
Fantastic.
And 7, 8, and 9, and 10, and 10 too.
You have an amount of time to answer all the questions that I've researched, and your time starts now. What is the toxic gas that covers the world and is kept at bay by the great crystal fragments?
Ooh, miasma?
Correct. Yes. The caravan's vessel for collecting myrrh must be constantly carried to protect the party. What creature carries this vessel in a single-player game?
A Moogle!
Correct. What is the substance collected from the myrrh trees that is used to replenish the power of a village crystals?
Dew?
It's Mir droplets.
Ah.
Name all 4 of the playable tribes and races in the game.
Oh, fuck. You got the sexy ones, the silkies.
Selkies, yes, that's one.
Then you got the lilties.
That's correct.
Then you got the weird lanky dudes. The constant.
That's not a word.
And the brubberas.
The answer is the clavats and the ukes.
Fuck, the clavats and the ukes, of course. I knew that. Stupid, yeah.
Which tribe is known for being physically small, using spears and gloves, and having the highest base physical strengths?
It's the lilties.
Correct. Which tribe wears full body distinct armor and specializes in magic and has the shortest magic casting time?
Ukes.
Correct. The game requires a specific cable and handheld console for local multiplayer.
Yes,
Which Nintendo handheld console is required for each additional player?
The Game Boy Advance.
Correct. What is the primary hub village from which your caravan sets out on its journey?
Oh, passenger.
Tipa.
Tipa.
After defeating a dungeon boss and collecting
Yeah.
the Mir, what do players receive that permanently raises one of their character stats?
What do they receive? I don't know. A letter from your mum?
An artifact?
Okay.
Okay. Spells are cast by collecting Magicite. How
Yes.
are higher tier spells like Fyra or Thunderaga or combined spells like Holy created?
By 2 or more people combining their casting of Magicite. So Fire Raga is fire and fire.
Correct. Or Fire and Life for Holy.
Fire and life, holy.
In the single player game, what status effect is placed on the main character if the Moogle carrying the crystal chalice gets tired and stops moving?
It gets fucking nagged, and then you have to pick up the thing, and then that's all you can do.
Slow, apparently. Status effect slow. Which member of the caravan, your family, provides the valuable service of making weapons and armor from scrolls and materials?
Oh, your sibling?
The answer, I'm not sure about this one, is the blacksmith or tailor.
Okay.
What two metaphysical beings do the Caravaneers meet in the unknown realm near the end of the game, one of whom is named Raim?
Raim?
So what's the other one called?
Raim and Daim.
Mio and Raim.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the name of the desert dungeon that's covered in quicksand as often requires the gravity combined magic to flight enemies?
Oh, I hate that level. Guran Desert.
Linari Desert.
Oh, fucking, I knew it's Linari as well.
What recurring Final Fantasy character makes an appearance in Crystal Chronicles as a travelling Moogle who ponders if Moogles are actually monsters?
A travelling Moogle. Oh, it's the little guy. Stiltskin.
Correct. And your time is up. Beep, beep,
Beep,
beep.
beep, beep. Wow.
I think you did quite well there.
That's respectable. That was just off the top of the dome.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that game. Man, I love that game.
But yeah, some questionable questions, I think.
No, they were good. They were good.
Okay, fine. Right, so second half of the podcast, we're going to get a little bit philosophical here.
Oh.
So, my question to you is, in video games, the concept of gear
Gear
is it can be interpreted in lots of different ways depending on the game.
Uh-huh.
And I just want us to talk a little bit about how gear is used in different games. How is it a good system? Like, so for instance, like wearable items.
Yeah.
They usually have stats on them.
Yeah.
Commonly, like Diablo and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
But also you get like gear which it basically becomes sort of like in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Unless you have the right gear, you're not going to survive against a monster. You know, you need to have the fire resist stuff and things like that. So I'm just wondering, what do you think of it as a progression style mechanic? I mean, ultimately, it's kind of like a gaming loop almost.
It is.
Think of some good examples, and just basically the philosophy of gear.
The philosophy of gear in video games is such a part of many of them because it gives you obviously a thing to do or a thing to collect. The two examples which spring to mind, one of which you've already mentioned, one of which is a highly almost an example or a blueprint is in the Metroid series of games.
Okay.
Where you have to pick up your gear, and it's one of the games which, the origin of gear gating comes from. So gear gating is a design methodology where you bar progress through the game, through the physical space, by locking it behind gear, which will enhance your abilities, be it, double jumping, crawling into a ball, blowing up a wall, etc. Quite famously in the Metroid games, after Metroid, they've had to invent increasingly ridiculous ways to strip you back to nothing at the beginning of every game, which they do. In Metroid Other M, it was that your abilities were suppressed, and so at various points what do they call the guy who's at the computer? The computer guy? Who's talking to you through your headset.
No idea.
That guy. He's like, oh, hey, now, Samus, it's time to press the button so you can get your nuke back. And that's fine, but I prefer the purer vision of it in Monster Hunter, because in that one, your base character remains the same throughout, and it is purely your gear which increases your statistics and it gives you certain resistances. So if you take off all your keks, you are basically back to being a vulnerable lower level character, and it nicely fits in with the story and the world crafting, in that you go out, you hunt the things you can hunt, you harvest their materials, you make yourself armor set number 1. And then you keep upgrading it, but because you upgrade it, you get tougher, your weapons get stronger, you can resist more hits, and then you get more and more. So I really, really like gear as it is incorporated in Monster Hunter, I think, because it has that internal consistency with the kind of way the world works.
Yeah.
In a way that, let's say, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, when you level up and you put your points into your stuff,
you're still the same.
Yeah, but what is that? What's the real world version of getting your points and putting them into your stuff? That's my initial impression. What do you think when you think about gear, Richie? And I'll chew over it a bit to see if I can come up with some other examples of good gear, bad gear.
I've got a couple examples that I'm going to talk about Diablo. About Lego.
Oh yeah.
and probably a little bit of World of Warcraft, because that is very, very gear centric as well. With Diablo, it's become increasingly less and less relevant to have a leveling up journey in Diablo.
Yeah.
I noticed this towards the end of Diablo 3, when you were just doing like the seasons for fun. But you would level up, but the process of leveling up, you did not care what you were wearing. You would maybe seek a particular piece of gear. So, for instance, there was a ring called the Royal Ring of Grandeur, which allowed special thing where set bonuses from certain things could be achieved with one less piece of gear.
Okay.
So that allows you to level up faster, and you can choose how your character progresses there. And there was all sorts of meta builds that were based around that as well. So you would chase these things. But the act of leveling up in Diablo was just like, you get from 1 to 70 or 1 to 60, depending on what, you get to max level. And then at max level, how you get gear changes. So it becomes you play the game on a higher level so that more legendary, unique, and epic items will drop. And in doing so, you then collect them and make your character better. But then after you've got some good characters and you're then starting to play it on the max level, so this is like the leveling journey part 2. You want to be able to handle yourself at the top difficulty. You then start finding the same epic and legendaries over and over and waiting to get a good roll for the stats that are on them. Mm-hmm. So you're getting the same unique item over and over and over, but you're waiting for the best reroll on it. And then you have like people around you who can change rolls and things like that. And you end up finding the same legendary over and over again, and you just take it to a blacksmith to get, a ground down new currency in order to make other things better. It's a very, very weird system. And Diablo 4, I think just copied that exactly. So it's like you're just grinding out the very, very latest ones, and then there's not just a legendary, but then there's a primal legendary, which is guaranteed 2 out of the 4 slots to be amazing. And it's so weird that you're so dependent on a set bonus or your gear that it just feels bad that your character is just covered in these items. And of course, you go to the transmogrifier and you make them pretty and all that sort of stuff. So it's not even like you like the uniqueness of those items. But yeah, that's just one way of looking at it. And that system exists in like Borderlands, and I'm sure it exists in all of the Diablo clones, like Path of Exiles and all that sort of stuff, But that's what I wanted to mention about Diablo. Lego is a weird one because ultimately the skills are gate kept behind a skill that someone can do.
Yeah.
Or a tool that they have, because I believe in some of the games it is just about a tool, like the person has the gun or the whip or the different 1D dildo,
the 1D dildo, the grapple hook, the water cannon, the laser, the magnetic.
I mean, with the Marvel ones, it's usually a special power that someone has, but again,
it could just be a shield.
Yeah, just a shield, yeah.
To hit those shield switches.
Yeah. So I feel like not in the traditional way as that gear, but it is kind of gear that is using the sort of gatekeeping method, similar to that of what you were saying about Metroid, and like it's like go and get this thing, and then suddenly this new area opens up, sort of thing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What was the last one I was
or
going
many,
to talk about?
which is a. I always found I think they got a bit more generous with the later games, but I always just found it really frustrating to walk past at every level. Like, oh, I need a thing which I don't have, which I'm gonna have to remember this is here to come back and do.
Yeah, when you come back, once you've beasted the game, you come
Yeah,
back and you go and find the mini kits because you've now got everyone unlocked. But
yeah,
yeah, it was like I think it was the last DC one where you actually just created your character and gave him or them whatever power you wanted from the
yeah.
list of powers that were available, and
That
that kind of felt like the whole looking behind the curtain thing.
no, that was great because the story. I mean, I'm sure we talked about this before. The story is based on your character, so you make yourself a DC villain. They become central to the story, and then as the story progresses, you unlock these powers,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
which then kind of opens up. So it was kind of cool, the coolest way I think they've done it. Certainly to kind of centralize you or your like self-designed character, because normally, you've got a cast of whatever 120.
Yeah. Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus, yeah. And then your last example, you said Diablo, Lego, and
Oh, World of
wow,
Warcraft. Yeah.
wow.
I mean, like, again, that's the random factor, but the gear pieces don't have the random stats on them that like you had on
Diablo.
Diablo. So like when you were getting the final epic pieces for whatever raiding, you were getting the max stats that could be on there as well.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of fun with that because at earlier levels when you were churning out as much damage as a team, you did have to do such things as wear fire resist gear or craft frost resist gear and things like that. And that is something that just didn't exist in the later in the sort of later versions of World of Warcraft. But like that's quite cool because I quite like that idea. But I think gear in itself is very different from like a consumable, in that you have to. It's. I mean, obviously it is. I'm just trying to think as I speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because it has a different role, and you think about it differently,
Yeah.
and it's become so baked in because there are many different games, as different as Monster Hunter, Lego. If you think about all the online shooters at the moment, your gear is like a core bit of your customization or your setup, and that's why we were talking about, I hope not on the podcast, the insane thing that's happened with the cosmetics for those gears.
Oh yes, yeah.
So roughly at the time of recording, give you a peek inside the chronology of the recording of these episodes. There's this huge blow up because Valve have ever so slightly changed something in Counter-Strike Go, I think, is it? CSGO? Which meant that before, the kind of loot box cosmetics, which have, as they all do, a ranging scale in rarity, they essentially massively devalued in real monetary terms, and this is the bit which kind of blew my mind, right? Because broadly aware that CS:GO is popular, maybe there's competitive play or something, but it's not a game that you hear about in the gaming news sphere very often.
But it is very accessible to a lot of people. It's just, I guess it's one of these things that's restricted to like Twitch, and when people watch it on that and stuff.
Yeah. I think if you're into it, you're into it, and that can be your forever game.
Yeah.
But due to the rarity of some of these items, essentially they gave you a system. Sounds actually similar to the Diablo system, where you could all of a sudden crush up some of the like more common stuff that you will get when you plow money into the game, to then just pick from a list some of the stuff that was uber scarce and rare. That, and this is the insane part to me, people were kind of hoarding and treating as financial assets to the tune of billions of dollars. So it's been widely reported that this slight change has knocked something like, of course it's not, but something like $8 billion worth of this out of this economy. Some people of a particular demographic were like, well, there goes my college fund.
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me is that may all be true, but you're just talking about a completely, utterly pointless, no, it doesn't tweak your stats. It doesn't make you any quicker cosmetics on your gear, and weirdly, I think it's like knives and gloves. So all these people talk about knives and gloves.
Yeah, there must be like there's fewer of them or something.
I don't know. That's just where the scarcity and rarity kind of came in. And you can have some pretty cool looking knives, but the coolest looking knife is not significantly cooler than a standard knife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? We're not talking yawning gaps of kind of quality. And really, really interesting that. And I guess this is why I brought it up, because a lot of the gear mechanics that we are talking about, you could say are essentially covering up. If you start pulling the wallpaper off it, it's like, this is a gambling system.
Yeah, no, it is. It entirely is, and that's why they had to change it. This loot box shenanigans is absolutely, it is gambling in its rawest form.
But it's also true in Monster Hunter, Diablo.
Yeah.
And the whole, all of those are based on this item, which you want, is desirable.
Well, I mean, Diablo, if you remember, Diablo 3 had the real world auction house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like basically stripped back, straight up gambling. So there was like people were playing, this excellent item has dropped. Someone will buy that for £4. So people were just playing the game, farming these items, putting them straight onto the real money auction house. And people were paying, money for them, and like you were getting paid to play the game.
Yeah,
I put things up, like, and I got, I think, maybe £2.50 out of it. But like, I wasn't trying to make money or anything like that. It was sort of a shit. That's and again. All loot boxes do is kind of obfuscate that raw gambling that's in there, and it's gacha, and it's this gacha system.
But it is obviously something so fundamental to the way we human beings interact with the world that, as in the cases of CS:GO cosmetics. You could also say shiny Pokemon, whatever it is. It doesn't even matter what the thing is, right? The thing is so not important to anybody or survival or anything, but just because there's a element of scarcity, there's a part of our brain that goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
FOMO.
oh! I've beaten the odds. I've got lucky. I've got the ping." And we feel so strongly about it that we do end up with these, sometimes sanctioned. So I think CS:GO does support a amount of buying and selling, and I think Valve gets a share of that, which is why there's a bunch of third-party websites, which I think is what they were essentially trying to shut down.
Yeah.
By making this slight change.
But human beings are idiots. Like, it's just flashy lights, and exactly as you're saying, that little dopamine hit, the scratch card syndrome.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, and like, I mean, I do it in games. Like, I'm trying to think of what I was doing. I can't even remember. I would collect lots and lots of things to open, so that it was kind of like doing like a ton of scratch cards in one go. So it's like collect. It's like the 10 packets of TCG cards.
I mean, that's the perfect example. Yeah, is Pokemon Pocket TCG.
Yeah,
which is virtual card opening, right? It's so pathetic on one level.
Yeah.
Because it turns out you don't even need to physically open cards. You can just look at an animation of cards being opened, and it still tickles that, that little ping in the brain.
I know it all too well because, like, Hearthstone, when it first came out, that thing, and they used to just love the flashy animations. So in the same way as like you get with actually, you know what, TCG's taking it way over the top. You can flip some cards and you've got a minute-long animation about that Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, the level of attention. I don't know if you there's a video because it's one of the anniversaries of TCG Pocket. First year? No, it can't be. Second year? Whatever.
First year.
And there's a summary video with a bunch of stats, like the number of trades that have been done, the number of thanks that have been given, the number of packs that have been opened, right?
Cool.
It's sickening, sickening. But in that video, it's something I'd never done. So not only did they go to town in kind of, making the virtual booster pack realistic, right? So not only do you arbitrarily and pointlessly choose which booster pack you're going to open from a rotating selection of them, but then they've got the detail of kind of like the foil. You can spin your pack around. I didn't know that, when you cut the pack, you can kind of twist the cards, so you can see whether you've got a rare card in the back, because the sides of the cards are slightly different coloured.
Ooh, I did not know that either.
Like, it's utterly pointless, right? Because if you wait 3 seconds, you'll
find out.
Yeah, and it's only on this trailer that's like, I didn't know you could do that, and so now I do it every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you get a card you haven't got, there's a ping and some stars, and when you get a new card you've never seen, there's a ping and some stars, and when you get a full art, there's like a ping and some firework. Yeah, it's just all geared to making this little empty drop of dopamine as
do you know what?
effective as possible.
Exactly it is?
What?
It's the same thing that you've seen in puggy machines. Do you know what I mean by puggy machines?
No.
Fruit machines.
Oh, yeah.
Like 20, 30 years ago. Even, in the 80s. It's just like press the button. Oh, ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Hey! And except you get a cash payout.
Yeah.
But you're still like, people were playing fruit machines. I still don't understand how fruit machines work. But people were playing them just for the flashy lights, and like you get these ones that were like based on like Coronation Street. You remember that Coronation Street one? And you get like Ken's face and stuff like that. And there's like this board up the top, and you're just like, how the fuck is me pressing this button making these lights go around and go around that board and stuff like that?
It's so cynically arbitrary.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure we all have friends who got really into fruit machines. And there'd be this like lore around them, which was a bit based on how they actually work, a bit based on, it's set to pay out every now and then if you can feel how much is in the machine. If someone's lost 3 times, then it's going to like all this. And again, just the whole like what you're doing is completely removed from the situation. This is essentially a random box, right? And every now and then you feed this random box money, and every now and then it will give you some money back. But like, yeah. And you can just completely strip away any element. And what's really weird is you mentioned the kind of Coronation Street thing. If you ever go to Vegas, and if you want to, I think you should go now because it sounds like it's not going to be around for much longer.
Nobody's going to America right now, full stop.
Nobody's going to America. And now it's Las Vegas. But you will see slot machines based on anything you can imagine, right? We saw an Ellen DeGeneres themed slot machine.
Yeah.
It was like, I think we saw every single one of the Jurassic Parks had a slot machine. There was, like things you wouldn't, like fast food chains based on slot machines. Just slopped on there.
Yeah. So
anyway,
from gear to the random factor.
That's the downside to gear, I think. Gearing cosmetics.
Yeah. But cosmetics, I think, are different from gearing and gear gatekeeping and gear stat levels, and because gear is progression, whereas cosmetics are not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of gear as like something that is prevented or is something that is needed in order for you to proceed in the game somehow.
Well, I don't know, because if you think about shooters, gear essentially is what...
For shooters, I would say they're all cosmetics.
No, because it's like, what strategy you're going for, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be the sniper, or are you going to be up close, or
That's
are you going
true.
to do?
But that's more like picking your class, as it were. Are you going to be the mage, or are you going to be the barbarian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a bit more nuance with your, you normally have a primary and a secondary and something else.
Is there a proper CSGO that's just actually set in a fantasy world?
I don't know. We often talk about, like, what if you genre flipped between sci-fi and fantasy broadly?
Yeah.
Why don't we have? Because is Skyrim and Cyberpunk? Would you say those are?
No. Well, no, not in the same way. So I think with CS:GO and stuff like that, it's all about like Twitch mouse sensitivity and things like that. Whereas with Skyrim, you've got auto hits and like you're just thwacking someone. Like
but I say like you have Skyrim's your big fantasy one, right?
Yeah.
What other kind of sci-fi or real world? Right? You got Fallout.
Yeah.
Like maybe Cyberpunk. And so what are the like
Red Dead Redemption for set in the Western.
For set in the Western. But then that's kind of like GTA, right? So
yeah.
That's the I guess like fantasy version of it? I don't know. Historical time pitch. So yeah, I don't know. There is something I think about the military shooter. Although there are those games where you basically like Battlefront games, right? But you play as a knight.
Yeah.
There's a whole ton of them. Unfortunately, I love watching videos of them, but I've never really got into them.
No.
And then you kind of siege a castle and everyone's screaming and you're kind of knocking the shit out of each other. But that's kind of based in like, based in inverted commas, realism.
Yeah, in realism, yeah.
There isn't a wizardy one.
No, I suppose.
I don't know why. I think maybe it's just because until fairly recently, fantasy was perceived as a bit gay in the old sense of the word.
Yes, in the old sense
in
of the world.
In the, dorky, nerdy, not popular.
I was do you remember the thing in the 70s of where D&D was actually sort of like all the Christians were going nuts about it because it was like
the satanic panic. Yeah.
Satanic panic, that's it, yeah. All hail Satan. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's interesting because, shooters, for example, were, I don't think they are anymore. They were a very, very crowded space.
Yes.
But they were just, for a long time, they just all looked the same. It's like, well,
really
do you want it to be?
I remember, people were getting excited about the next Rainbow Six, and it could have been the next Tom Clancy Ghost, or it could have been Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
It was like, it was all the same for me. And, I mean, that's the thing, it's like, it's those games that everybody was buying, but I didn't care about. So it's like, oh my god, it's PES versus FIFA, or Rainbow Six versus whatever shooty thing. Like, totally not interested in a football game or a military shooter.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Like, I just, like, those are the people who are buying consoles, and I think I'd prefer to be playing, Oblivion or whatever it was at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than that kind of hyper-realistic thing. I don't know. Shooters are in a funny place because for a while it was realistic military shooters, and then occasionally it'd be like, okay, we'll go back to being in the World Wars because the modern ones aren't very popular.
Yeah. Of course, the Call of Duties.
And Medal of Honors when they existed.
Yeah.
And then everything became online, and then basically battle royales kind of did in.
Oh, of course, yeah. You've got your Fortnites and those are the sort of fantasy based shooters, I guess.
So you kind of got Overwatch, it's like a sci-fi
Overwatch,
one.
PUBG, and
PUBG and 100 other clones which are not as popular because people only have time for one life-consuming online shooter. But for a while there was a bit of, when Left 4 Dead. Do you remember when that?
Yeah.
There was a whole string of
a thing.
Competitive games.
Payday and Payday 2.
Payday, yeah.
Yeah. The heist one, yeah. And then GTA just did it better.
Yeah. But there we go. I think we need more genre flipped popular games. Like,
I think so too, but let's leave this because we've tangentially. I think we need to bring this podcast to a close.
Lastly,
okay,
right?
Okay.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Except it's chariots.
Brilliant, but
Eh?
I think I think it would be so annoying because you would have to account for like the horse random factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you'd have
do you know what that reminds me of?
Yeah, go on.
This is a real throwback. Back to like Commodore and Amiga days. You used to have darts games.
Yes.
But in order for you to throw a dart, you basically had this sort of wonky cursor that would sort of float over the point that you were trying to throw it at, and then you just had to click the button, and then if you were lucky, you got it on the sort of area that you were aiming for. That's exactly what I think the Chariot racing would be.
I think you'd still have to have like the absolute obsessiveness about the spokes and the wheels and the wheel trims and all the bits that go into the chariot. And then you'd have to have like a whole horse stable system where in between racing, you have to like feed your horses, and then you can breed your horses,
breed the
and
horses
you can
and get the appropriate thing, and then
get
you got the
yeah,
right kind of wood for the chariot. You want something. You want like a nice birch to keep it light,
yeah,
but it's not
exactly.
as durable.
Yeah, so then you have to trade with North Germany or whatever in order to get the right wood. Yeah, and then you have these hyper realistic, chariot races, where your horses and or chariots can get completely fucked up. Yeah,
And a great big sort of battle royale,
yeah.
but to the theme of Ben-Hur or Chariots of Fire.
Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
Where's that? Where are the chariot games?
I guarantee they exist, and we don't care. We haven't looked on Steam for Chariot games or Nintendo Store.
I bet there's a game called Chariots of Fire,
Yeah.
and it's actually just about schoolboys running or whatever that film's about.
What? Is that what that film's about? I thought it was like. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just thinking of Ben-Hur. The theme tune. I had no idea what you were talking about.
Chariots of Fire, right? The film.
Yeah.
It's about some boys running. Yeah, it's about the 1924 Olympics.
Great. Don't care.
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. No, that'd be a really bad soundtrack to Chariot game.
Ancient Arenas,
Yeah.
Chariots from Slytherin.
Oh my god, are there other ancient arena games?
Yes. And yeah, it's like there's a garage and there's stats for each
Brilliant.
of your horses, exactly as
Perfect.
you were saying.
Brilliant.
That is
Already exists.
mental.
There you go.
But and of course they actually also create games such as Panzer Corps 2.
Yeah.
So they are straight up,
They're straddling. They're
Yeah.
straddling the divide. Good on them.
Field
Well
of
done,
Glory Medieval. And
Well done,
then also
Slytherin Limited.
Slytherin.
Yeah. Alpha built. Okay, these games might be bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bad.
They just look a bit
Afghanistan
janky.
11.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, readers, keep your eye out for Ancient Arenas Chariot.
Said
Coming
no one
soon.
ever. Right. That guy's a maniac.
I'm trying to remember the cool name for Klingklang. Gyaru.